Why does everyone blame Brown and Blake but give Ollie a pass? I don't blame Brant Brown or Blake Lively for anything. I think they're both. I think they've both done really good jobs this year. You aren't going to make everybody great. You aren't, as we mentioned to you yesterday, Bill. Not everybody's going to be an all-star. And if 50% of your prospects wind up being good players, you're doing pretty well. Generally, it doesn't work that well. I'm not blaming Brown or Blake for anything this year. This job was to find out whether or not guys could play, and not everybody's going to be able to become a good player. We have seen improvement from a guy like Nolan Gorman. We have seen continued good play and really kind of a rebound from Brendan Donovan. We've seen really good play, not all year, but we've seen really good play generally from Mason Wynn. Defensively, he's been exemplary all year long, but he can give you a little bit more offensively. Newt Barr has bounced back when he's been around. He's not been perfect. Obviously, you'd like to see more from Victor Scott. You'd like to see more from Jordan Walker. And then Herrera. You don't forget about Herrera's ascent. Again, he's struggled a little bit. But I think actually everybody's done a good job in that dugout. And what are you going to blame if you I don't know what you blame Ollie Marmol for this year. There are certainly times where you can blame a manager for a team not winning or being a playoff contender. I don't think this is one of those times, Matthew.
Somebody was really mad that they came out flat in the Sunday game against Tampa Bay.
And that's 62.
That's Ollie's fault, apparently.
That was a 4.5-hour rain delay.
Also, guys, people making millions of dollars should not need to be motivated to do their jobs.
Should not.
If you said that about somebody making $45,000 who worked in your office, they need to be motivated every day to do their job, and you're a bad manager if you don't find ways to motivate them, I would look at you and say, or the adults can motivate themselves because they're adults.
Yeah, and hey, you know what?
You expect that the manager's job in Major League Baseball is to motivate his players? That's what the money's for.
I get number one. Let's throw this out there. As Tony La Russa used to say, they're men, not machines. And one of the problems with the analytics movement is they do kind of think that pro athletes are robots. Well, you know what? Sometimes, just like you, and just like me, and just like Matthew, sometimes a pro athlete has trouble sleeping. And they don't get to sleep until like 5 a.m. And then they have to be up at 6 a.m. so that they can get breakfast and then get on a bus over to the ballpark.
And somebody burns their toast.
Yeah, right. Sometimes you're really tired when a game starts through no fault of your own. It just happens. It happens to everybody. And I'm not going to blame a manager because there might be personal issues that a player is dealing with, whether it's a health issue or whether it's a family issue. You know what? The things that affect you and I and Matthew, they affect pro athletes too. They are people after all. And I don't think that I've ever seen a player, and I've watched a lot of ball, and I used to cover the Cardinals literally every single day. I don't think I've ever seen anybody that was great every single day.
That's fair. That's fair. This could be Ben. Hot take. Do we need to bring in the outfield wall? It's not a hitter's park.
It's not. And a lot of that, I mean, you build Ballpark Village. It was more of a hitter's park before Ballpark Village was built. But then obviously the way the ball travels within the stadium changes, the wind patterns change. It is a really tough place to hit. Albert talked about that in his last year, how hard it is to hit a home run at Busch. You can do one of two things. You can either bring the walls in, or you can build a team like Whitey Herzog did. And I have no problem with being able to run. And then you get one big or two big time stud hitters in the middle of your lineup, like Jack Clark was for the 85 and 87 teams, and then just run like the wind, steal 314 bases. You teach people how to steal bases and get athletes to steal them. Let's
pivot here really quickly because we didn't get to play this clip, but I had it on the rundown last week. AJ Pierzynski on Foul Territory said that, and this is from Ollie Marmol, that players don't want to steal bases because they're being told that any caught stealing is going to be held against them in their numbers in arbitration.
Yep.
And so players don't want to steal because they're going to get screwed by teams using it against them, and they're not going to get enough value for their success for steals for how much value they lose the few times they do get caught stealing. So in this economic world, and this is coming from Ollie Marmol directly, what How do you fix that? What is the solve there? Is it like is there a way to do it?
Give him extensions. Give him a contract.
Make him trust.
So
say
that you've got your money. Now let's see if we can play some winning ball. When I talked to Ollie earlier in the season about whether or not they should give Victor Scott II a green light, and he said he's got a green light. He said, and we meet after every game, and sometimes we tell him, hey, look, this was a good spot to go, and this was a good spot to go, and he didn't. The Cardinals kind of thought, to your point, and I don't know if this was the Victor Scott situation, that the players had more opportunity to run that they didn't take advantage of. And the Cardinals would have loved to have, not just him, but the people with athletic ability like Wynn and those guys. The Cardinals would have liked to have seen them run more. But I buy into that 100%.
Yeah, I know you want to see me run more, but the same thing, like, I know you want to see me play 3 positions for you, but if you're going to turn around and say that I'm not an everyday player because I play 3 positions for you, if you're going to tell me that I don't deserve the money because I get outs on the base pass, then I understand players saying, I got to look out for me a little bit here.
Well, this is another issue with the analytics aspect of the game. And I think it's also a problem just with, not that the exorbitant amount of money is a bad thing. I think it's a really good thing. But I do think, to the point of the Cardinals, they need to get players extended so they aren't thinking about arbitration and stuff like that. One time, Carlos Correa went to Houston's front office the first time he was there and asked them, because he was going to be a free agent. I think had just hit arbitration, and he talked to some of the Astros front office people about what they look for when they pay a player a lot of money, and they gave him all the little things to increase his WAR. And so he started doing that. He started doing the things that increase WAR, and that allowed him to get to that point. And obviously, I think initially he had Boris. That helped him get a bunch of money too.
And here's the thing. That's actually the one time where I understand a team telling a player that's the one stat to focus on, because in contract negotiations, unless you're like the top player in the Major League Baseball, your comparisons are just your positions.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the top player in baseball, you're saying, I don't care if I'm a left fielder and he's a shortstop, I deserve to be the highest player playing baseball. But if we're talking about these mid-range ones, it's all about the other people at your position, which is what WAR tells you. So to tell a player, up your WAR, because that basically says, where are you in the echelon of second baseman or left fielders or first baseman, not in the echelon of all hitters. Mm-hmm. That's it's a useful way to tell players to go about it. But to your point, it eliminates apparently an entire aspect of the game because of the math. And that's a bummer.
A couple of things. Number one, Mager Fogger. Okay, Ollie saying that means that he doesn't have a strong backbone to run the club. This is every manager. This is Bruce Bochy. This is every manager in baseball that's dealing with this. Even the veteran guys, Ron Washington, Snitker, they all deal with it.